Just Karen, can I just stop you for a second and touch on that? Because a lot of the people that I train are women in their 50s, and progressing, 50s and 60s, women who are maybe I've had my gym for sort of 16 years. So some of them would have started, probably in their early 40s, but now they're kind of like mid 50s, they're moving on. And that whole redefining strong, and redefining strength, for women. Can we sort of touch on that? And because you meant that was really interesting how you said what redefining strong, for women as women get older. I think that's really like an important kind of maybe a little path we can take for a minute, if that's okay.
Absolutely. So the way that I look at that, when I was younger, like I said, I went through the fear of getting bulky and I was afraid to do things and I was a cardio queen. I just wanted to be on those machines for hours. And I was afraid of being strong or looking too strong. And when I came into the world of Strong First and I changed my mindset and I realized the way to train differently, right? So I lifted heavy and I did the Iron Maiden and I did all of those things to get really strong. And I still like to train that way, still 100% believe in that. But like a lot of your students, I mean, we're all aging, right? Like this is my year, and I hate to say this, put this out there to the world, but I will be 50 this year. And it's a weird thing to think about. Like I don't feel like that is where I'm at. But in reality, it is. That's the birthday that's coming up. So what I learned is early on in my training, I looked at women that I felt were sabotaging themselves, like the older women. So when I was younger, right? I'm in my 30s, I'm training all these older women, and I felt like they just weren't putting in the work. And so now I feel like I can put this huge apology out to the world because in my 40s, I found out some medical stuff that I needed to have done, which then caused me to have a full hysterectomy. And it changed everything about my body and hormones. And sorry about that. I had to start looking at the body differently because I was like, here's how I train, here's how I eat. I know all these things to do, but they're not working. They're just not working anymore. So it kind of had like this public letter to all of those people that I thought were just being lazy or sabotaging or weren't really filling out their food logs properly. And, they just kept complaining like, I'm doing all these things and nothing's working. So through my own journey of having surgery, seeing my body change drastically, I had to start seeing specialists. I had to start thinking more about hormones. And by no means am I a hormone specialist at all. But what I have learned is that it's not as easy as calories in, calories out as you're an aging female.
Mm.
It's just not. Um, so through that journey, now what I do with that age group, if someone comes to me and they're like struggling and they're like, nothing's working, first thing I have them do is go get a hormone panel. Like go look and see what's going on with your hormones because otherwise we're spinning our wheels. Like I can get you strong, even if your hormones are off, but that doesn't mean that's going to get you the body looking the way that you want it to. Because as we age and we don't have those hormones, we're going to hold on to more body fat. We're going to be softer, and it's a struggle. I mean, it is. It's especially in this industry, right? It's still male dominated, right? So it's females in an industry that is very male dominated. And then you get to that age where your body changes and you want to look a certain way and you want to move a certain way. So the redefining strong to me is for these females is looking at things at a bigger picture, looking at longevity, looking at recovery and training. So yes, you still want to be strong, but it takes our bodies longer to recover than it did in the past. So you have to have more recovery time. And to also get into redefining strong is also a strong mindset. Like if you're always looking, and social media is the worst for this, and I'm trying to teach my daughter this from an early age, social media allows you or forces us to look at things and basically pick things apart. Like it puts you in this perfect, like, oh, everybody over here is doing this perfect thing, when really we know that's just the show reel, right? No one is perfect. Or we're seeing these bodies where everybody just wants to be half dressed and show off. And if I angle in a certain way in the camera and do something, well, then I'm going to get the likes and the following. But that following doesn't mean loyalty to what you're doing as a coach, as someone who's actually hiring you. Yeah, you might have a huge following and you might look a certain way, but can you get them to understand smart training, longevity, what's going to keep me healthy and strong, right? So, what is strong? Strong is relative, but it's not just physically strong, it's mentally strong, it's emotionally strong. And then that can carry on to other things in your life.